If you use Notion and you haven't tried the new Notion AI yet, then stay tuned. In this video, I'll walk you through 9 scenarios so you can decide if the AI lives up to the hype. Let's go. We've partnered with Notion to get the latest tips and tricks that I'm about to show you. Now, every Notion account has free trial access to the AI, so you can follow along in your existing Notion workspace. Or if you're new to Notion, go to the following website. You can click the card in the top right, or click on the link that I've included in the description below. Here we are on the web version of my Notion workspace, which I use with my family and my work. On the left side of the screen, you see the familiar sidebar of notebook pages and subpages. And in the main pane, we see the currently selected page. Now, if you've used Notion recently, you've probably noticed this Notion AI button in the bottom right corner of the screen. When you click on it, you'll see a ton of options to help save you time, including summarizing the page, brainstorming ideas, drafting content, and so on. So let's get to know this AI with a few simple examples. First up is something easy that can still take your precious time, and that's reformatting. So let's go to a page that has some content we can reformat. Here's a page that has a social media content strategy for a business. If we scroll down, you can see there's quite a bit of content that we can work with. Let's go back up to this section called Nurture. In this section, we have a lot of bullet points. Let's ask the AI something simple, which is to change those bullet points into numbered lists. To do that, I'll first get all the bullet points in view. Then I'll click and drag to select all of the blocks with bullet points. Next, I will summon the Notion AI using the keyboard shortcut Control-J, and you can use Command-J on a Mac. There are a lot of options here, but let's not get distracted. In the prompt, I'll type change bullets to numbers and then press enter. Now that change happened quickly, so let's see what the AI actually did. When we scroll up, we see much of the original content grayed out and struck out. The bullets are also gone, having been replaced with numbered lists. And before, the bullets contained multiple items. And now the AI has taken the liberty of separating those items. Now, anytime you make a change with Notion AI, you have the choice to accept it, discard it, or even edit it through another prompt. I'm good with this change, so let's click accept. And there we go. Bullets to numbers in just seconds. It's like Notion AI just recondoed my notes. Does it spark joy? Absolutely. Here's a slightly more complex example. Let's say you'd like to see all of these content pillars in a table as opposed to paragraph format. Let's see how we get the AI to help. This time I'll scroll down after all of these headers. I'll click here because this is where I want to insert the table. And then I'll press Control-J again. Now last time I glossed over these options, so let's take a minute to go through them together. This scroll box below contains a lot of ideas for you to get started. Sometimes you don't know what an AI can do until it provides examples. In this case, we do want to make a table, so let's click on Make a Table. Before we start typing together, let me show you some of the other options on the right-hand side. Where it says Current Page is the search scope. That's just a fancy way of saying what context the AI has access to. Because we've asked the AI to make a table, we're limited to the current page for now. In a future example, I'll show you how we can use multiple pages. The other tool for you to use is the @mention. By typing the @ or clicking on this button, you can reference other people in your workspace, other pages, or dates. Again, this is useful to provide more context to the AI in what you ask of it. We'll skip all this for now and add our prompt or our command. Let's go through this step by step. I want the content pillars as rows, and I want the content type, the value proposition, and all of the examples exactly as phrased as columns. Notice that I included exactly as phrased here. That's because sometimes the AI likes to summarize when I don't want it to. Now you can press enter or click the blue arrow key to submit the prompt. The AI quickly turns this text prompt into the table that we imagined. Now, before we accept this, we always want to review what the AI has created. And it looks pretty good, but let's take this opportunity to add a little pizzazz to those table headers. We'll scroll back down to the prompt box and type add colors and icons to the headers, and then press the enter key. And just like that, the AI regenerates the table for us. I'm now happy with this change, so I could click the accept button, but if I want to use the keyboard, I can use the down arrow key and then press the enter key. All right, now that we've got our table looking sharp, let's see if the Notion AI can help us clean up some messy writing. Because let's be honest, not all of us are Shakespeare. I've got this section of text here called Who is my ideal client? With a bunch of bullet points underneath. Let's make this more succinct and engaging. Now, pop quiz, do you remember the keyboard shortcut to bring up the Notion AI? That's right, it's Control-J. This time we'll use some of the built-in commands, starting with change tone to make this more engaging. Let's select friendly and watch the magic happen. That's good for step 1, so let's go ahead and accept this. Let's now go back to the AI with Control-J. This time I'll select make shorter. Once the AI is done, we'll click accept once again. Now here's a bonus tip for you. Chances are you're not going to like everything that the AI generates. What I like to do in these situations is copy this with Control-C, then press Control-Z a couple of times so we get back to the original, and then paste what the AI has created below my original text using Control-V. From here, I can make the edits that I really like. Let's now talk about Notion AI Chat. In the sidebar, let's click on this third link from the top called Notion AI. Here, we can make requests or ask questions across our workspace and even create new pages. I could even ask for something as generic as create a 5K training plan. Before I press enter, let's change the search scope. See where it says all next to the paperclip icon? Click on that button. Here we can change the search scopes or contexts that the AI uses to fulfill our prompt. So I can choose to use just this workspace, integrations like GitHub, AI knowledge only, or just the Notion Help Center. Let's stick to AI knowledge only and then click the blue arrow to submit the prompt. Now at this point, Notion AI is going out to LLM providers like ChatGPT and or Claude to fulfill our prompt and get us the best response. Now, this isn't a running YouTube channel, so we're not going to go into details on this plan, but it's okay. But now let's do something different by clicking the new chat button in the top right. This time, let's leave the default search scope as all and put in the same prompt as last time. Let's press enter and see what happens. This time you see Notion AI is searching our workspace to produce the training plan. And the result is quite different. In fact, it's even changed the sport from running to rowing. And that is a sliver of the power of AI integrated into your workspace. With those 3 scenarios, you start to see what Notion AI is all about. But here's the real test. If it does its job well, it should surprise and delight you. So let's see if any of the next 6 scenarios lives up to that promise for you. Here we go. Now, if you couldn't tell already, I'm really passionate about endurance training. So for example, I have some note pages here, like training zones. If I have a question about something in my notes, instead of looking through them all to try and find the right answer, I can ask Notion directly. Let's click on that Notion AI button you probably ignored until watching this video. As you can see, this is a quick way to access the global chat while still in another page. Let's ask a question that's answered by the knowledge in our workspace. What's the best way to know if I'm in zone 4? We'll press enter and see what the AI has for us. Not only has the AI correctly summarized the response, but it's also included citations I can click on to investigate further. When you click on a gray circle with a number on it, you're brought directly to the citation. Next up is transcribing your handwritten notes so they don't get lost in your physical notebook. I've created a new page where I'll paste in a photo of my handwritten notes. Now, the best way to put photos in here is through the Notion mobile app, but I won't cover this in this video. Now, when I have my mouse over this image, you see the Ask AI button, don't you? Let's go ahead and click it. The prompt here is simple. Extract the notes from this image and press the Enter key. Now let's click Insert to get these notes into our page. Let's close the chat window and take a look at these notes. It didn't just extract the text from the notes, it also reasoned intelligently about the image we drew. That's cool enough even if we stopped here. But let's take this one step further. If you like to study your notes, this next trick is for you. Let's put our cursor below these notes and then invoke the AI with the Control-J shortcut. Notion AI can help you study too. Here's the prompt. Create 10 quiz questions using toggle lists. Then press Enter. It created the quiz questions, but not the toggle lists. Let's click Accept and then add those ourselves. To do that, we'll select the questions and answers, click on the 6-dot menu, then click on Turn Into, and then Toggle List. Now you can quiz yourself and show and hide the answers. By the way, sometimes that toggle list prompt works and sometimes it doesn't. In any case, it's good that we've got an easy alternative. Not to be outdone, if study guides are more your jam, you can also create those. Let's press Ctrl-J again and type Create a Study Guide and press Enter. Now, this is a bit of a silly example because the guide here is longer than the notes themselves, but you can imagine if you had a lot of notes that this would be a very useful tool. Let's switch gears and see how Notion AI can help us prioritize our tasks and goals. This is a list of my goals for this quarter. There are 4 fields for each goal: the goal name, the due date, the status, as well as an estimate of how long it's going to take to complete. You'll also notice I have a parent-child relationship between goals. When you have a list like this, it can be difficult to understand what you should work on first. Fortunately, Notion AI can help. Let's click on that button in the bottom right-hand corner. This time, we'll ask for advice. Here's the prompt. Which of my goals should I work on this week? I could submit this, but I need to be more specific with Notion on which goals I'm referring to. To tell it, I'm going to replace goals with an @ sign so I can mention a specific database. And that database is Q1 Goals. I'll click on that and then click on the blue arrow to submit my question. We see that Notion has looked at all of the database pages and created its own plan. Now, you should always check that the response you get is good. In this case, it's a good plan. Let's move on to another database example with a habit tracker. There are so many ways to create a habit tracker database in Notion, but here I've got a row for every day and I have columns for each of the habits that I want to track. Like most people on the planet, I fall short of some of my daily habits, but I'd like to get better. So let's see what advice Notion AI has for us. This time, I'll show you a different way to ask the prompt. First, I'll ask the main question. What habit should I prioritize, and how would you suggest that I stick to it? Then, let's tag the specific database right afterward. Press Enter like before, and let's see what it has for us. It's told us to prioritize exercising, which makes sense since I've done it the least amount of time, and given me a couple of suggestions to stick with it. Let's take this one step further. I've heard of this thing called habit stacking, and I wonder if I can use it here. So let me ask, how can I use habit stacking to get better at exercise? And now, with continued conversation, I can turn Notion AI into a coach. And honestly, it's got some pretty good ideas here, including this last one, logging my exercise right away. And we are on to the final use case of upgrading your databases with AI. Here, I have a service disputes database where I keep track of issues I have with service providers. For example, being overbilled by a certain internet service provider. Now here's my struggle. When I'm looking at this page, I want to see a summary of each of these issues without having to open up every single page. Let's go back to the database and see what we can do. Click on the plus button underneath New to add a new field. You now have access to 4 special AI-powered columns. Let's test out the AI summary and see how well it does. Databases can have hundreds, if not thousands, of entries. So before you add these new columns, I recommend you click on Try on this view so you can preview the changes. Let's take a look at what it's created. Click into one of the cells and you can see the preview. Not bad, but let's tweak something. I realized what I actually want is a summary of the next steps. This time, let's add a new column, and instead of AI summary, let's make it AI custom autofill. Here we can prompt the AI to extract some content from the page and put it in this field. Here's my prompt for next steps. If the status field is done, write none. Otherwise, summarize the next steps in 200 characters or less, including dates. Again, we'll click on Try on this view to preview. Let's click out of this dialog so we can see the fields. We can look at what's going on with our product refund, where it's clear we have no action until January 15th, and we can look at the next steps with our internet service provider. I encourage you to check out the other 2 fields that are available, which are AI translation, so you can translate specific fields, or AI keywords, which offers an auto-tagging solution for your database. And that's just some of the power of Notion AI. Now I'm curious, does everything you've seen today justify the cost for Notion AI at $8 per user per month? Let me know in the comments. Remember, you can get started with Notion and the new Notion AI using the link in the description below. This is David signing out. I'll see you next time.